This video is not sponsored by any of the companies mentioned.
Hi, Shanna Rowe Jackson here from Caution Artists at Play, and today I am going to be painting some Christmas cards. I love this time of year. I have a couple designs in mind. I have these nice little watercolor cards here by Strathmore, and I think that it would be really fun to try something a little different, so I decided that I wanted to work with a limited color palette. So I am going to be using these Earth Colors by QoR. This is just a 6-color set. I don't think I have shown these on my channel before. I feel like I've used them, but I haven't really done a review on them. I also have like a 24 set of these watercolors. I might do a more thorough review with those. If that's something you're interested in, let me know in the comments below, because I plan on making a palette and everything else. But yeah, but today I want to use this because I thought it'd be fun to use these muted earth tones and see if I could get something that looks almost like an antique look for a Christmas card. So let's take a look at the colors that we have here. As I mentioned, it's a 6 set. We have transparent brown oxide, Venetian red, Naples yellow, raw umber natural, sap green, and indigo. Sorry if these aren't coming in very well. And then it also comes with like a little palette, so I think I'll just use that because I'm working on my coffee table. A little bit of a lack of space here. But yeah, so that's the main color palette that I'm going to use. I just thought it'd be a fun challenge because normally I use like really colorful colors for my Christmas cards. And so I thought that this would just be a fun, you know, different moody look to them. And then I'll also probably use some of this white gouache by Royal Talons. And, you know, some gel pens for embellishments. But yeah, so I think I'm going to get started. This is just going to be a nice relaxing video. I'll probably mute this, put on some Christmas movies for me to watch. And yeah, I'll come back with time-lapse and voiceover and probably some soothing Christmas music. So, all right, let's get started.
Starting on the first of 2 Christmas cards that I will be doing in this video, I had a little vision in mind of doing something that was outdoorsy and a little bit snowy and something reminiscent of an enchanted forest or, you know, just a nice winter scene with a Christmas tree. If you know me, you know that I love my trees, and so Christmas trees are one of my favorite things about this time of year. So I'm just starting out wet into wet, and I'm going in with a fan brush to get some kind of streaky feeling in the back to kind of be reminiscent of some blurry pine trees back there. And I used a Derwent Inktense to draw out the preliminary outline for my main Christmas tree so that the lines would wash away because it is a water-soluble pencil. And I came in and sprayed some water on it to make it feel nice and misty and kind of disperse that color a little bit and get some fun texture and spurs in there. And then I also came over it while it was wet with my white gouache and splattered that in there to kind of give more of that magical snowy feel. Then I'm coming in with my watercolor and using far less water with it so that I could have more of a contrasty feeling in the main tree. And I am just leaving little spots white so that I can come back in with some of my other muted colors in a little bit. And I have to tell you, these paints are a dream to work with. I do want to set up my own palette and, you know, just fill some pans and let them dry and see how they work that way. I find that I have more control when I work from pans, and I'm less likely to try to use them like gouache or like acrylic if I use them as pans. But I definitely still really enjoyed the process. And I think that using a muted color palette was really, really helpful in this because I have a tendency to go too bright and have too many bright colors when I'm doing Christmassy themed things for some reason, especially if I'm just working from imagination like I am here. And so the limited color palette really helped me kind of reel it in a little and keep things more cohesive. And I did put some additional colors in the background to try and tie the background in with the foreground and make it feel more magical. And again, I'm just working from imagination here. I didn't have a reference, so the branches aren't perfect, but I'm coming in with my gouache and trying to add some, little snowy branches in there. I have to tell you, I just love this time of year so much, and everybody's putting out fun content. Clark Fine Art, my friend Angela Clark, she just recently did a live where she also made some Christmas cards. So if after you're done with this video, you're still in the mood to see some handmade Christmas cards, I'll link that in the description below. It was a live stream, but it's available for replay, and so you'll get to see her cards being made in real time. And she came up with some really fun stuff, some cute little gnomes and an awesome snowman. It was so much fun. And so if you're interested in seeing more cards made by another creative, I will link that in the description below as well. And here I am coming in to try and just get some more shadow so that I wanted the snow nearest to the tree to be brightest and nearest to the horizon, so to speak, to be brightest, because obviously the tree is lit up. And then I'm feeling that tape so satisfying, and there was that one up close. And now we're going on to the second one, and this one also has a bit of a tree theme. And you will see what I'm getting at in just a minute. Again, I'm coming in with an Inktense to kind of just put in a preliminary sketch. Messed up a little bit, wanted to reposition it, and there's a little candy cane. Again, I'm not worried about the lines because I know that the extra lines that I didn't get to erase will wash out with the water since the Inktense is water soluble. And this time I'm coming in wet into dry in the background. I wanted to have a fun, dark background, but I decided instead of wetting the paper first, I would lay down a bunch of pigment and then come in and spray and see what fun little textures I get. And so that's what I did there, because I wanted it to be like a blurry background, Christmas tree background sort of situation. And then I'm coming in and I'm dropping in other colors, and these colors do seem to pop against that dark green. And in places that I couldn't really get the stronger contrast, I came in with some Q-tips and lifted, and these paints lifted from this paper really well. And this is just a light cold press kind of texture to the paper. I really enjoy working on this paper. And I apologize for the changing light. I am working by natural light, and so you're going to have some sun dapples in there as the sun is, moving position as the day goes on. And then I wanted to, again, save the highest contrast for the subject, and so the background was way more watery, and then I'm using less water to put my branch in there. And I'm using mainly the sap green and the indigo to get those dark pine needles. And a little bit of the background was wet around the needles, and I didn't mind that so much because I kind of liked the spurs that came out from it. It kind of had that spiky feel. It added to the feeling. And then I'm coming through, I think that's the Venetian red, and adding the stripes. I love that it's not a bright red. I'm really enjoying this kind of nostalgic color scheme. I'm really happy that I chose to use this palette. It worked out really well. To me, it feels like a nice memory or almost antique. Everything's a little bit on the warm side other than the indigo. And I don't know, it was just such a fun, it makes me think of wrapping paper that I saw in the 90s or even in old Christmas movies that are older than the 90s. Just brings back memories for me. And I'm just adding a little bit more texture in that background. And I wanted to have a bit of a vignette, and so I darkened some of the corners a little bit. Then I'm coming through with my Uni-Ball Signo white gel pen to spruce things up a bit, give some highlights, put some little magical, lights in the background, give some definition to that tree branch. And then I decided I really liked those white dots, and so I did... Oh, I also put little hearts in the corner. I forgot about that part. But then I decided to come through and splatter a little bit more of the white gouache with my paintbrush as well. And yeah, that's it for this one. And I will come back and show you my real-time reactions. And then for the back, I decided to put my logo stamp, which was super fun.
Okay, here they are. What do you think? Which one is your favorite? I'm having a hard time deciding. I like them both. I am just a tree lover in general, and so Christmas trees are really one of my favorite things, one of my favorite themes. I'm pretty happy with how they came out. I really do love this muted color palette. It definitely gave kind of a nostalgic feel to it. So yeah, and then I also used my logo stamp on the back, and well, I did on this one. I had a really hard time with this one, and so I had to draw over it, and now it looks like caca. But that's all right. I'm pretty happy with how they came out. This was just such a fun, relaxing project for a nice December day. So yes, let me know in the comments below which one is your favorite, and if you ended up making Christmas cards at the same time, let me know what themes you went with. All right, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week. You have a great day. Bye.
If you found value in this video, please feel free to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and share so others can see it as well. Thank you.